Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to talk about how to know your worth so you can walk in it. Stay tuned. Yesterday I recorded a video on walking in integrity, and I explained where did that phrase come from and what it meant to me. And I get a lot of questions as far as like why I say continue to walk in your worth, continue to walk in integrity. So I decided to do two separate videos. I will link the integrity video below if you haven't seen it. But it all stemmed back to March when I did my first YouTube video. And I was just researching women's history, and I just realized that a lot of us do not know our worth. And at the end of the video, it wasn't like premeditated, it just came out of nowhere, and I said continue to walk in integrity, continue to walk in your worth. And what that means is, but first of all, I understand, so I'm getting a lot of questions, and I understand that a lot of people do not know how to walk in their worth. And so I might change it and say know your worth so that you can walk in it, because a lot of us do not know our worth. And transparent moment, I will be don't want to tell y'all how old I am. So next month I'm gonna be 42, and my oldest is 24, my youngest is 18. And I'm gonna be honest with you, 24 years is more than half of my life, and for half of my life I didn't know my worth. And to be honest with you, I didn't figure out my worth until 2020. So I understand that when I say continue to walk in your worth, it's hard to do if you don't even know what you're worth. And I just really started thinking about, okay, how can you figure out your worth? And to me, basically, your worth is what you are bringing to the table. And we determine I determine my worth. I don't allow somebody else to calculate my value. And I think that that's where we all go wrong or fall short, because we show up on the scene and we just take whatever anybody gives us, or we tolerate whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like we don't really have standards, because we don't even know like when people are crossing the line. And if we know that they're crossing the line, we don't do anything about it, so they could just continue to cross the line. So how to know your worth, like I said, it's almost like applying for a job, and you have to list all your attributes on your application or on your resume. And I remember talking to my friend the other day, and we were saying how like we've just been so awesome for so long that we kind of forget everything that we've overcome or were able to achieve. And you know, I think it's important that we remind ourselves of how awesome we are, and we need to change the narrative. Like, it's okay to say that you're awesome. And why is it that when I can say nice stuff about myself, people think that I am taking away from them? No, I'm not taking away from you at all. Like, you gotta big yourself up. Like, when I say I'm awesome, it's because I've come a long way, and I am awesome. I'm awesome, and my awesomeness does not hinder you from being awesome. I'm just telling you where I'm at with things. But basically, it's almost like filling out a job application, and you got to know what you're bringing to the table. You know, some of us are nurturers, some of us are, you know, just good workers, or, you know, whatever it is. I think that you have to, it kind of goes back to like one of the first videos I posted when I said it's important to journal. Like, literally, what are you worth? And you need to start writing it down. And like, what value are you bringing to your life as well as other people's lives? And you got to start writing it down. And then once you can acknowledge your level of worthiness, you stop tolerating unworthy situations. And that's how you walk in it, by not tolerating situations that is not your level of worthiness. also what I did, it kind of like made me a little emotional, because I was like, okay, you know, how do I tackle this video? And I was like, okay, let me start journaling. And as I was journaling, I said, what do I deserve? Because if I could figure out what I deserve, it could help me figure out my worth. And then also, to figure out what you deserve, sometimes you have to look back over your life at all the things that you did not deserve to realize what you deserve. And just like some people don't realize love until they've had a lot of experiences that were not love. So you kind of need negative and positive situations to, you know, get all the answers that you're looking for. So I'm sure we've all experienced some unworthy situations, and just kind of dig deep within those situations and remember how you felt in that moment, and how would you like to feel. And that is how you slowly start to learn your worth and walk in it at the same time. I just really like to empower all of us, because I know I keep saying it, because no matter, it's almost like every day I'm having a conversation with women who feel defeated. And some of us feel defeated because in that particular moment we might not know our worth. And someone else had asked me, like, why is the women empowerment movement like so powerful all of a sudden, or, you know, something like that. And I said, well, you know, to me, there's different levels of empowerment, but it's almost like it's almost like racism. Like, sometimes you don't even realize that the other party has been mistreated or left out or neglected, abused, you know, whatever the case may be. And a lot of us, we kind of, like, we're there for each other because we've been in that other woman's shoes. Like, we listen to these situations when things happen, and especially if you've had that experience, it's easy for you to latch on to her and to help build her up and to support her in her moment. And, you know, a lot of us are not walking in our worth, and as a result, society feels like it's okay to continue to mistreat us, disrespect us, and treat us like objects. And I really think we need to do a better job, especially with the youth, because our young ladies do not know their worth, and they don't know how to calculate it, and they are out here tolerating anything, any attention at all. And sometimes they don't even know how to properly respond to negative energy and attention. And also, because there's not a healthy self-esteem, they misinterpret just regular attention for love. And, you know, we need to be clear, like, even in relationships, a lot of us are looking for relationships, but the men that we might get involved with are not looking for relationships. A lot of them are not honest about what they're looking for, and they'll string you along, and then it's this emotional roller coaster, and then it's just a cycle that just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. So I think that if you watch my integrity video, you'll understand that, oh, sorry, these bugs are like out of control. You'll understand that, like, we need to walk in integrity, walk in our truth, do the right thing when people are watching or when they're not. And as a result, also, while we're learning what our worth is, just feel empowered and be bold enough to speak up in those disrespectful situations. And I guarantee you, the more you speak up, the more support you'll find, and the more the atmosphere can change. A lot of times, it could be as easy as an inappropriate joke, but if we continue to just laugh it off, then the other parties will never know, you know, how we really feel about it. And, you know, they don't know that we're offended because we're all laughing. And there comes a time when it's no longer funny. It's no longer funny. So I'm not, like I said, I don't have daughters, but I was a little girl. And I remember how I felt. And I just think that we need to do a better job with teaching these kids how to survive in this world. Because as you see, the older we get, the more we're exposed to different things that it's hard to even prepare them for, because like we couldn't prepare our kids for social media because we didn't even have social media, and it took us a while to even like figure out how to maneuver it and what it was all about. I remember when my oldest was like in middle school, they had like a whole bullying page, and then they're like tagging the kids' names and saying this and saying that, and everything was like anonymous, so you didn't even know like who was posting it, but somebody was like posting like the school drama and all this stuff, and we were not prepared for that. So I think that we have to evolve with the times, and the times are begging for us to make sure that we are teaching our kids how to know their worth, how to walk in their worth, and not just girls, boys too, because I really try hard to make sure that my sons know their worth, and I also try hard to make sure they know how to respect these young girls. I also try to teach them that, if you no longer want to be in a relationship or whatever, just say it, have integrity, say it, step away. I call it bow out gracefully. Now, I know all the time that's not possible, but I mean, we just have to stop condoning this reckless behavior, because it's just creating so much negative energy in our world. And I like with the integrity thing, I think there's just so much that we could, if we can tackle it within ourselves, it'll start to spread amongst our family and friends, and then it'll spread amongst their family and friends, and then eventually we will be able to do better. But I don't know, it just made me like, it struck a nerve. And like I said, so what has helped me find my worth is journaling what I deserve and what I don't deserve, and also looking back over my life to see what have I tolerated in the past, and being clear about what I will no longer tolerate. And I've even created vision boards, and the vision boards can have, it just depends on the mood for the day. It'll have a different theme. But from thinking about this right here, I have a new vision board that I'm going to do, and it's going to be about what I deserve, what I no longer tolerate, and what is my worth. And I have one of those, what do you call it? Like those trifold poster boards that we get for the kids to do their projects on. So, and I'm gonna put it up on my wall, because I'm telling you, and that's another thing. Someone was saying that, oh, you just seem so happy and, fulfilled 100% of your life. And, like 95% of the time, that is absolutely correct. But let's be clear. I go through, just like everybody else goes through. And I can't say what works for me will work for you, but like I've told y'all before, I could be a bully. And like I bully people into doing what's best for them, and I bully myself into doing what's best for me. When I have my moments, like literally I'll look at the clock and I'll set a time. I'm like, oh, okay sis, you got about 15 minutes to get it together. And then if it's a real big situation, I mean, depending on what it is, I kind of treat it like a grief, and I'll be like, okay, you got 3 days bereavement, get it together. Does that always work? No, but at least I'm trying to be mindful that I'm not gonna let the situation break me down. And in learning my worth, I've also learned that there's moments when I thought I was broken, but I wasn't really broken. It's just the vessel that I was in at the time has reached its capacity. So yeah, I might have been broken but it was just broken to push me into the next level. So I no longer look at brokenness as a negative thing. I always try to find the positive in everything I do or experience. And I feel like instead of mistakes, my life is filled with a whole bunch of lessons learned. Now, if I choose to keep repeating the lesson, that's on me, and I can no longer complain. But my life is full of lessons learned, which has really increased my knowledge and wisdom on how to just deal with things. And the only thing I can say that works for me, go with your gut. Because I have always had the answers to any of my questions. And if I didn't have the exact answer, I always knew who to ask to get the exact answer. But once you start asking too many people for their opinion, it just creates confusion, and then you no longer can really choose the best thing for you. And so what I've learned to do with my kids is ask them what they want to do. And, you know, how do you feel about it? And what do you think you should do? And based off of what they think they should do, I tap in with them, and I get in alignment, and I figure out how can we make it work, because they have the answer too. And we have to empower the children to let them know, like, listen, you got the answer. Just like when they do something wrong, you ask them, like, dang, you know, that was stupid. They know. So, you know, I just want to empower all of us. Like, I not only am trying to empower all of y'all, I'm trying to empower myself as well. And a lot of times these videos help me probably more than they help y'all, but I know that by me posting, it'll help somebody. And as long as it helps somebody, that's fine with me. But like I said, I have so many powerful conversations every day, no matter where I'm at, work, home, the store. Oh, can't even go in Walmart or Target. I'm in there for hours, because you run into someone, and then y'all have a powerful conversation, and then a couple hours down, oh my God, hey girl, you know, start the cycle all over again. So I know that we are all searching for our worth, and I just try to empower myself and everybody I come in contact with that, listen, we are learning. If you don't know it, we're at least learning it. We're learning our worth, and that's what's important. All right, I had to switch because the kids started coming and getting a little noisy. But I think the video is long enough. I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. And I just really hope that this video will encourage you to figure out your worth so that you can walk in it. Because I know that we're not all living up to our value. And it's up to us to know what that is. It's just like when you go for the job interview, you don't go if you didn't think you were qualified, or at least had, you know, some of the qualifications. So like, what makes you qualify? What qualifies you as awesome? What qualifies you to be respected? And it's not always, you know, this big answer. What I usually say is, because I'm God's masterpiece, period. Period. Like, we don't have to tolerate disrespect. And a lot of times disrespect or any other negative energy is only happening because we've allowed it. I've learned that people do what I'm not going to say what we've taught them to do, but we've taught them that we would allow them to do that. So they keep doing it. And guess what? Those days are over. Those days are over. And especially now that I realize, like, my boys are watching me, everybody's watching. Not that I got to be on my P's and Q's because of that, but I want to be. Because I want to be a good example for whoever is looking at me for answers. So I'm going to end the video now because they're over here playing basketball. But, you know, let me know if you know your worth, or are you at least encouraged enough to start evaluating it and figuring it out. And I'm telling you, when you write things down, things happen. Things happen. I don't know what it is. It just shifts something in your brain, and you just, now I can't guarantee it happens for everybody, because I know sometimes some people just choose not to. I mean, God gave us freedom of choice, y'all. So write it down. Ooh, see, they're cutting up back there. God gave us freedom of choice. So choose to do better. Choose to know your worth. So until next time, continue to walk in integrity and know your worth so you can walk in it. See y'all.